This is the Darren Green Show. What up, I'm Darren Green, and this is the Darren Green Show, here to give you another stellar podcast. If this is the first time you're hearing my voice, please hit that subscribe button on YouTube, iTunes, Google Play, and add me on anywhere else you listen to podcasts. And as always, follow me at TDGSOfficial on Twitter and Instagram. The info is in the description. Also, I got a new email account. You know, after this whole situation, last episode where I almost lost my Adobe account, and I have to have certain emails for certain shit. Okay, so my new email is thedarrengreenshow@gmail.com for any business inquiries, or if there's anybody that wants to partner up, do anything on some business stuff, you hit me up on that email. That's my professional that's my email for the show. And I've learned from a cousin of mine that it's good to have certain emails for certain things. I'll also tweak with my personal email as well, because I just get a lot of chain emails, and when you get those chain emails because you decide to subscribe to somebody that said, oh, get 5,000 followers in 2 days, or get this amount of followers in that days, and stuff like that, marketing and all that bull crap, child. They are really stalkers on these emails. Like, oh my goodness, I don't want to subscribe no more. I'm not paying for me to get 5 more followers with your help. Come on now. So no, I blocked out a lot of emails. I only accept if it's a job that I'm inquiring for, or someone from my college or whatever that needs to do what they got to do. I can't, child. I just cannot with these emails. But no, I got it down to a science. But anyway, how are you guys doing? I didn't even ask you how are you doing for you to not respond, because this is a podcast. And, this is going to be a early podcast. I have a job. I got to secure that bag at all times. I have a job 9 a.m. tomorrow. Well, it's Friday. So you're getting this podcast today, Thursday. Hey! Okay. And let me just tell you something right now. The day may change. The day I may post or, the podcast or whatever. That day may change depending on if this certain someone that I'm hopefully trying to get as a co-host agrees and has a schedule like mine. So it might be another day. It might not be Friday, but I'm hoping that it could be Saturday, because that's when I'm really free. So yeah, I got a new job. I couldn't wait for this desk assistant job at the college, so I'm like, let me just try to apply to this bookstore. And that's what I did, and it worked. Yeah, I went up there. It wasn't an instant hire, but when I went back home, they ended up saying, hey, do you want to work here? I'm like, yeah, I need to. And I'm hired, and that's just that. So I'm working, child. I'm working. Okay, Ollie's wasn't I cannot be name dropping these places. Okay, but that job, y'all didn't stop my bag, honey, because the bag is still going on. It's still getting M's in my account. It don't even matter, child. But yeah, got me another job. Now, I'm packing for school. That's what I'm literally doing, right after this podcast. After I edit it and post it, it is definitely going to be getting real up in this room, child. I'm about to just move stuff around. I'm putting this microphone in my little microphone case so I can take it with me. And it's just, I'm going to school. I move in, the moving day is tomorrow, Friday, which is going to be weird because I have to start training that day too. So hopefully everything works out. But, it's going to be a lot. And I have to get my key tomorrow and then come back, and then we'll move the rest of the stuff during the weekend, which, being that I had to come up there again yesterday, Wednesday, I might just have to stay up there. I didn't want to stay up there. I wanted to come back on Monday night, because I know that school like the back of my head, and that calf will not be open, and I will have to get something to eat. I would not be doing that. So I'm thinking maybe I can just, get some cup noodles, child, until Monday passes over. I don't know. I'm about to figure out doing something, because your boy's broke right now. Broke is a goddamn joke. Okay. And I got to keep this money going. I can't be broke during, in school, because there be things I need to do, and I just need to. Okay. Now, that's what's been going on this week. It's the last week of me being home, which is great. I'm definitely going to try to work on my eating habits and stuff like that. Definitely, I have better control over it when I'm in college versus while I'm here, child, because, oh my God, no control whatsoever. And we're gonna get that done. And I'm just going to work on a lot of things. I got my classes to worry about. I got this podcast. I got the podcast at the Gothic Times that I'm still gonna be doing. Y'all can give it a look. See, I'm gonna feature that podcast on this platform, so y'all can come on over and start listening over there too. We're gonna have a podcast. Look, let me tell you something. I'm just addicted to work and just addicted to recording podcasts at this point. I cannot stop, and it is what it is. But anyway, let's get right into hot topics, because I feel like today might be a little short day. All right. Okay. Let's get right into these hot topics. Was there anything else I want? Oh, there is one thing I want to talk about. I finished 13 Reasons Why. And let me just tell you, my best friend made me finish it. And then social media made me finish it too, because I wanted to see all the memes. I wanted to see all the funny videos about the damn show. So I'm like, you know what? Let me just finish this. I watched the whole rest of the season Tuesday night. Was done about at 1 o'clock. And I was just sad. I was in distress. I was just so upset with what has happened to these cast members. And we're going to get into some things, okay? We're going to get into some things about this show. Now, this is a spoiler review, okay? A spoiler review. So I will have a time on the description. If you didn't watch the season yet, I got you. Just look at that time, skip to it, and then I won't spoil it for you. I promise. So without further ado, let's spoil this damn show. Okay. Let me tell you. First of all, let me just talk about the whole season. Because I feel like I want to talk about everything, but like I don't want to be, too wishy. I don't want to be too back and forth with it, right? So the first thing that I wanted to talk about was the whole situation with, the Bryce dying or being killed or whatever. And then the main characters kind of fighting each other, trying to figure out who actually did it, who was a part of it. Then to come and find out that it was Alex in the end that actually killed him. But it was Zach that kind of beat him up to a pulp, to the point where he couldn't even move. And then it was Alex that threw him over the bridge and into the water. And that's how he died now. Let me tell you something. I thought it was Clay, girl. I thought it was Hannah Baker's mom, maybe. I thought it was... At one point, I really thought it was everyone. At one point, I was like, what if they all did this shit and was like, let's hide it or whatever. Let's think of a plan to say. And it's real funny how towards the end, we find out that Alex did it, but Ani wanted it to be put to blame on Monty, which Monty is this big bully or whatever that did rape, I forgot his name, Tyler. Yeah. And last season with the whole broom and everything. Yeah, that was a mess. And he was still, but let me just tell you something I did notice about the show though. I did notice that this season in particular, kind of make you feel bad about every single character. And that's even Bryce, even Monty. And let me just, my best friend kind of butt heads with that. But you see the upbringing of these two villainous characters on the show, and you kind of be like, that's why. Okay, I understand now. You get what I'm saying? There's no excuse. There's no excuse. You break the barrier. You get what I'm saying? But Bryce's character in particular, he was a rich white kid at that. And really just, any black or white. You get what I'm saying? Rich. And you have those parents that sit there and let you do whatever you want. The father let him do whatever they want. His father and grandfather, I'm talking about Bryce now. The father and grandfather in his life was just very angry. They wanted what they want. They got what they wanted. And that's what he thought. That's how life is supposed to be. And he grew up thinking that he can take anything that he wants, even human lives. You get what I'm saying as far as rape. And, now I know why he is what he is, and he has an issue. And I feel like, I always come back to this. Yeah, I'm going to always come back to this. Parents, what the hell are y'all doing? And it don't even matter if y'all even rich or rich, poor, it happens all the time. You sit there and you let your kids do anything they want. Or they cry too much, you give them a phone to shut them up for a little bit. You give them what they want so they stop annoying you. Then they grow up thinking they can get anything they want. And then when they do some heinous shit, you're going to be, oh my God, oh, what? I did not raise you like that. Honey, did you raise them at all? The whole thing with Monty, yeah, there's a Monty in every high school, child. There's a Monty in every high school. Now, I never experienced one at that magnitude that would do something like that, but I've seen some aggressive ass people like him that I wouldn't question their sexuality. It's because of that. And like I said, it doesn't make it right for what he's done, because what he did was he did some heinous shit. I feel like he's more of a villain than Bryce, because at least Bryce has some kind of humility. He came to an understanding that, hey, like, I know what I did was wrong. And he actually tried in this season, he tried to do the right thing. I feel that maybe if he would have went to jail and he would have that moment of redemption in some sort of way, I wouldn't have just went to people and be like, I'm sorry, because don't nobody want to hear you sorry. Jessica didn't want to hear that you're sorry. This person over here didn't want to hear that you're sorry. It doesn't matter. You get what I'm saying? They're going to, and definitely Hannah Baker's mom, I wouldn't have went that approach. I would have tried to help myself first. You know what I'm saying? Maybe some years go by and then try to come back to the people that you've hurt. But you had to go to jail. You had, and that is the nail on the back. That's why people are mad at you, is because the fact that you did these things to several women and that you got away with it. And then in the process of you getting away with it, you messed up Tony's life. Because when Tony testified against your ass, your parents went and did some research on his parents and had got his parents deported. So all this shit is centered around Bryce. And once he realized that, that's when he started to want to change. And that is real growth, because sometimes that's good for a show. And I will say, this was a good season. This was better than most of the shows that was out this year. Okay, I'm gonna be real honest with you. It took me to that point where, I love how they have like villains in the characters or whatever, but you don't see why. You get what I'm saying? And that's one thing that I love to do after I watch a season of 13 Reasons Why. I listen to their talk back every season. I do. And I loved how one of the directors was like, in this show, we wanted to showcase how, villains or monsters aren't born, they're made. And everyone deserves a redemption, maybe not from the people that they've hurt, but just for, getting back into the community and trying to do the right thing. It was hard for him. A lot of stuff was karma for Bryce. Now, Monty dealt with karma. He got killed in jail, and then he was blamed for the whole murder of Bryce. And, at the end of the day, it is what it is. But I'm going to tell you one thing, child, that season ain't over. Child, okay, so we got I wouldn't even say boyfriend and boyfriend, because they wasn't even together like that. They just had one night stand, and I guess you started having feelings for him. The Monty story arc with the guy that he beat up, and then they ended up being cool, and then they had and I imagine he's probably going to come back and be like, yeah, these bitches is lying. Yeah, no, it was one of them that killed Bryce, yada, yada, yada. So we're going to have another season. I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, it's one of those seasons where you don't know how to feel, because yes, that is wrong. You don't blame it on nobody else. Like even the cop that, because the only reason why that worked was because Ani was interrogated by Alex's father, which was like, hey, yeah, we know your son did it, but we trying to cover it. This looks good if you just say it was Monty. He did. It don't even matter. Case closed. But we got people that cared about him, and, it's going to be a show next season. So this is going to another level that I didn't even imagine. I really thought they still was going to have Hannah Baker in there, in Clay's mind. And that's another thing, too, that really was talked about, but it wasn't addressed fully. Like, Clay really has some mental issues, and let's be real honest with you. He has real mental issues. He's very possessive over people. Like, you wasn't even dating Ani, but you got mad because Ani was messing around with Bryce. And at the end of the day, I'm going to say this right now. They have a right to a relationship as long as it's consensual. And it was consensual. For the most part. But, you know, he got mad because she was talking to Bryce. But at the end of the day, like, y'all not dating. So, and then you see in him seeing these little images or these little, something in his mind is just creating these characters, you know, like, you know, last season it was Hannah. This season we've seen a little bit of Bryce. I'm like, when are you going to get help? Because you want to help everybody else, but you need to get help, child. Because there's something wrong with your ass. Let's be honest. Let's speak on it. And like, I don't know how I feel about it. Hopefully it gets addressed next season. But this season just gave me everything. There was just such in the moment where Jessica... It was a lot of moments that annoyed me too. Because in the midst of this season, we're in Bryce's funeral. And there's this survivors group that's in that school that, you know, survivors of rape and stuff like that. They stormed his funeral and just in a way, you know, don't mourn the rapist or this, that. It was, at the end of the day, that pissed me off too. You get what I'm saying? Like, I understand Bryce is the villain here and he did a lot of bad stuff at the end of the day. Okay. But to sit there and to have, you know, just to start this protest at the man's funeral, that's just like, if he going to hell, y'all going to hell too for that. You get what I'm saying? Like, that is not what we do. That is not, you know, just have some human decency. Because at the end of the day, you don't, one thing my mom told me, I think I said this before, you do not mess with the dead. You do not mess with the dead because that's karma. I didn't agree with that. And then when Jessica apologized, she did such a neutral apology. And it was foretelling for what was to come with Bryce or whatever, because she mentioned something about the mirror and the broken mirror, which was a good quote too. And she said, you know, stand up if you're a survivor. And then mad people stood up. And then it was so surprising that Justin stood up, you know, because he was a survivor of sexual assault. Tyler stood up first, obviously. And that was a real strong moment right there. I agree with that protest. And another protest way back when, I'm going way back and forth. That's how I talk about things here. I go way back, then I go back. All right. But the part where they stormed the homecoming game, that moment. I mean, those were good protests that I agree with, but that whole funeral shit, you do not do that at nobody's funeral. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's Donald Trump himself. I will not be sitting there doing no protests over a funeral, because at the end of the day, he has family that needs to mourn too. There's people that still love him at the end of the day. Like, you have to get out of your own way with that. And you know, revenge isn't always the way to go about things, you know. But I'm not going to sit there and, you know, I'm not going to erase what he did. Yeah, he's still a messed up person. And maybe he did deserve to die, but it's not my place to say, you know. But one other thing, what is another thing I want to talk about? Ani, a lot of people thought she was annoying this season. I thought she was very, like, where the hell did you come from? You just came there like a damn wrecking ball and you're narrating the whole season. Who do you think you are? Just coming up in here, narrating the season like you, who is you? I thought she was a character that I missed. I'm like, honey, who? But towards the end, she became, I liked her in the end. She had to grow on you. And I think that's what it was, because I'm used to seeing these characters, and now I'm seeing that character all the time. I'm like, honey, who the hell are you? Hopper, who this woman? Now, what else I want to talk about with this? I think that's it with the show. It was a good season. I mean, it was moments that made me cry when Tyler, you know, talked about he finally opened up about his sexual assault with Clay and with Jessica. And then at that moment when he just said it to the school, he didn't say it exactly, but he said, you know, that he was a survivor. And that was a good moment. I mean, like, yes, men do not, that's a topic to talk about. Men do not talk about their experiences, their unwanted sexual experiences and sexual assault. So I feel like this show has given a lot of men also the platform to do those things because, Me Too movement doesn't just only serve women. And I'm glad that that's actually said in that show. I mean, it touches on a lot of things. And one thing Ani said in particular, the truth will always find its way out. It had a lot of good quotes on there. That's very true. With, dealing with secrets and stuff that you don't know, it will always come out. Maybe not in your lifetime, but maybe in another job. Who knows? But all around, this season was good. It gave me life. I was just sad the whole time. He did his job. So I can't say anything. I can't say near. Yeah, he did his damn job. And hopefully we'll see what happens with the next season. I don't know. I really don't know. I hope it doesn't get because I started seeing some quirk. That's one other thing I want to talk about. I started seeing some quirkiness to it that kind of reminded me of like a Netflix original show. So I was like, I hope it doesn't get too quirky to the point where it's like, okay, now you're giving us Netflix humor. Yeah, cancel. Okay. But I don't know. Other than that, I think that's it. That's it. Let's talk about these hot topics, child. But before we get into the hot topics, here's a word from our sponsors. All right, we're back with hot topics. And the first thing I wanted to talk about was the VMA Awards. Let's talk about it. I watched it to a certain extent. I don't know the host. Let me go on. Oh, God. Because I always talk about the host before I do anything. The host was funny. I just don't know his name. So I'm typing it up right now. Host VMA 2019. So his name is Sebastian Mansakalo. I don't know. Who is he? Ceremony hosted. I guess he's a comedian. He had a little bit of he had some funny moments, but I just really did not know who he was watching this. I'm like, who is this? I thought we get D-lister hosts now. I don't know. This VMA Awards was it was very budgetable. It was very budgeted. I don't know. It had a lot of budget to it, honey. But one of the people that I've known, well, I don't know him, yet. Hopefully I'll get to know him. But was actually on red carpet, which was wow, oh my God, one of my Instagram followers and one of my associates that I worked on a project with ended up going on red carpet. So kudos to him. But the show was definitely on budget. I was like, oh, okay. And then Taylor was there. I was like, oh, okay. Let's talk about the looks. I feel like that's where I start. That's where I kind of ease on into, Let's talk about the looks. I'm going on the Shade Room right now because they're the only ones that was really posting stuff. And what's up with these publications not posting nothing about the I'm like, this was the least talked about VMAs ever. Lasted goddamn 3 a day. God, they post everything. Oh my God. Okay, there we go. I like Meg Thee Stallion's outfit. This was a nice little 2-piece with them boots is cute, child. Them black and silver boots. Oh my God, yes. And her hair was cute. Lizzo, she was giving me Valerie. What's her name? Amy Winehouse. I loved it. Taylor Swift. I think that's Versace. That looks like something Versace would make. It was cute. It was per usual. Normani was cute. She was giving me Ariel, just some kind of mermaid or something. Hair was cute. Lil Nas X, he finally wears a shirt. Oh my goodness, yes. He's finally wearing a shirt because I'll be like, boy, if you don't put that bird chest in your goddamn look, okay? Who else I want to talk about? Bobby freaking Lights. And I'll get into him a little bit later. But just because you light skinned don't mean that you goddamn Prince. You tried that. You tried that outfit, boy. Okay, you might as well would have had the damn Jerry curl with it. Shit. You really... oh, my God. No, it was a no for me. Lil' Kim, ooh, girl. Girl, you look like you killed mad peacocks. Like, ugh, my God, I didn't like that. French Montana looked basic. Rick Ross, basic. Remy Ma looked cute. That was a cute outfit of hers. I love the 2-piece. It gave me very prom vibes, but hey, whatever. Black China's outfit was okay. She must have had two outfits because I remember her with the other one. It was like a green outfit, or maybe it was another. I don't know. But yeah, that's the best looks. Well, not the best looks. That's the best and worst looks, child. Because I was. But anyway, Lizzo brought down the house. I loved her performance, and she's doing it. She headlined this show. I mean, that was the most talked about performance. I would have loved her to perform Juice because that's my song. That's what gets me out to the gym and shit. But she performed. What song is that? But that's the song she been singing. Why ain't great till it gotta be great. Yeah, that song. It was cool. And then she played Good as Hell, which was my song back. That's when I first got to know Lizzo. I was like, yeah, she's bringing it back. Missy Elliott performed. That performance is lit. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, I'm not even that much of a Missy Elliott fan. But that was a dope ass show. She played some of her old shit. She played some of her new shit. And then she brought the girl back. And I didn't even know what that meant, that girl that was dancing. And my mom told me because my mom's a diehard Missy Elliott fan. She was like, oh no, that's the girl that danced in the music video. Like, that's that little girl. She grew up. I'm like, okay, calm it down. She said, oh, look. I was like, okay, well, that's cute. I mean, it was a good. And then she won the Michael Jackson video Vanguard Award, which was very much well overdue. I will say, she did make the quirkiness in female rap music videos because it was always, before then, it was always, being pretty and all that and doing all the, regular stuff, going into the motions. But she actually incorporated just the weirdness of it, of a music video. Rappers can do that too. It don't gotta be them up in the hood, moving guns and sitting there with all the jewels and stuff. It could be something crazy, and that's what she did. And she broke barriers. Cardi B was there. She was there I said pronounce. Ooh, not bad. She was there to announce her winning, and she gave a good little speech to it. Shout outs to Cardi. And Cardi also won for Best Hip Hop, which is another thing. Yeah, these categories have definitely changed, child. I'm like, okay. She won Best Hip Hop. Oh, okay, I guess with Press. Press was a good video. Okay, yeah. I'm trying to figure out for what. No, it was for money. I'm like, oh, I thought that was last year. Oh, we winning 2 years in a row. Okay, well, all right. I guess. But she won. And Money is a good ass video. That was a good video. I can't say nothing about it. But her looks, child. Now, Tokyo Style did his job. He did his job before y'all come at me. But that damn person that did that dress, take it back. It did not look right on her. And she usually come out with the okay. She usually come out with it. You get what I'm saying? But today it was very late. It was very tired. I didn't like that. She looked like a Christmas tree topper. It just it didn't hug her body right. It should have been something else. I don't know. Maybe a jumpsuit. I feel like that's what Cardi is, a jumpsuit type of girl. If she's going to do a dress, it's got to be like a long dress. It's got to be a gown. But if it's not, she needs to have a jumpsuit. The one that hugs her body, of course. But the hair was cute. I love the bob. It was a cute look. See, I'm not even no fashion designer, but I know what looks good on people, what does it, child. But yeah, she won an award. I know Taylor Swift won for Best Video of the Year, which was a well-deserved win at the end of the day. And she called to action to the White House about the Equality Act. For those who don't know, Trump is trying to reverse that shit and allow jobs to fire people because of their sexual orientation. Before it was trans, and now it's coming to us. Okay, so who is it going to next? Are they going to start discriminating because of somebody's race now? Because it doesn't stop. Let me tell you. And for those who was like, when he was doing that, he did that first with the trans women. Okay, now these jobs have the right to fire trans people. Ain't nobody did no call to action. Who's next? Who you think was next? Us. Okay? And who you think is next? Us again, if you think about shit, because I'm black. You get what I'm saying? So, it's, I loved how she called to action. I don't care if people say that she's doing it for clout or she's doing it for, publicity because of her. I don't care. At the end of the day, if she is, then it's doing it for the right cause. Shit. And we're getting shit done. It has, the petition has over 1 million signs. I signed. Get your ass to sign it, because if, I'm just saying, because it could happen to your community next. Let's be clear. Now, Lil Nas X won for Song of the Year, which was well deserved. Everybody was singing that shit. Every radio station was playing that shit. Everybody was streaming it. It was number one for weeks. It broke Mariah Carey's record. Yes, that is Song of the Year. I mean, that should win a Grammy, to be honest. I think it probably will win a Grammy, because, Grammys do love numbers. They do love their numbers. But anyway, Meg Thee Stallion won Best Anthem, and Charlamagne the Goddess, oh my God, he was just so confused. He was so confused that they won, a popular, like, how can VMAs, pick that if it wasn't a video? First of all, it was song. Second of all, it's the people's choice. VMAs didn't pick the winner. We did. Okay? And to answer your question, yes, we believe that it was the anthem of the year before the video even came out. Okay? Because we already know the video is going to be lit. All right? I'll be up on that. But I think that it's probably going to come out Friday then. I think that damn video is what. Because they love Friday. Nicki loves Friday. It's like our favorite day. But anyway, yeah, Charlamagne the Goddess had issues with it. At the end of the day, like, and the Oppressive Channel said it right. Like, if this was anybody else, like Cardi, you would not be saying nothing. But it's because of Nicki, and because you have an issue with Nicki. And now it seems like, you was taking some digs at Meg Thee Stallion. Especially when the Hot Girl Summer thing came out, you was very, like, unoptimistic about it, saying, like, people hyping it up too much. People hyping it up too much. Don't hype it up too much. And if it comes out and it's like regular, people won't call it trash. Yeah, like you're going to call it trash. I already knew what your response to the song was going to be anyway. It seemed like you have an issue with certain women. Certain black women. That seems like a pattern. Like, you don't like black women. But hey, this is all speculation. Allegedly. One other thing I want to talk about before I close out on this topic was Bobby Lights. Made that little boy so uncomfortable. I cannot. Ooh, child. Like, when somebody in, like, the group or in school, whatever, comes out, it seemed like everybody want to flock to him. Like, oh my God, like, you're so, like, man, she was not even trying to hit at that before he came out. And he was just so uncomfortable. You could just see it in, like, Lil Nas's face, especially when he was trying to do that. He was trying to have his little 3 seconds of fame while the host was talking. And, like, just basically just showing his ass to... Like, Prince didn't do that when he... Come on. Like, come on, child. And you could just tell Lil Nas is just very uncomfortable by him. I'm like, you are a freaking creep. Like, you about 30 years old. This dude is like just 20. What are we doing now? But we'll get into some things about that a little bit later, child. I wanted to talk about K. Michelle because she said a lot about Black China on a recent episode of Love and Hip Hop. Take a listen.
What are you doing?
Well, I've been in the studio with Black China.
On what?
She came to me and she said she wanted to work on music. I'm like, all right.
Girl, I would have hung up.
But you know what? She can sing. She has a tone.
This industry is the only industry where can just walk in without an audition. This music is something you fight for your whole life. It's
Absolutely.
Not something that you just automatically say you're going to do. This be people's last resort. The gift that God gave me,
right.
That is not the last resort to your that didn't work. I literally, last year, y'all, rolled myself on stage to sing for my fans in a wheelchair. So why the do you think I want to sit around and talk about these fake artists? I bust my ass. I love this. It's how I eat. I'm not gonna entertain the people who just out here playing.
Here's what I got to say about this whole situation. You know, I would love to sit there and complain that there are so many people in the media that just sat there and did what they did, and because they have 1 million followers, they get to get this job as a media correspondent on something. You know, I would love to sit there and complain about that because, you know, I went to college for communications, media arts to try to work up to that, and I have to compete with you celebrities. You get what I'm saying? Because y'all got y'all have more of a following than me. I would love to say that, but I'm not going to say that because that's just how life is. You know, a lot of people use music as a hustle. I don't blame nobody that if you don't care about the music industry and you're trying to do it, that's just them. You get what I'm saying? It's not like she's coming to you saying, "Oh my God, I'm put me on." She went to somebody else, so basically it had nothing to do with you. I understand what K. Michelle is. I feel like she's right, but she's wrong on how she's going about saying it, because you just coming for some random chick at the end of the day that's trying to make a buck. Okay? And you talking about her, I mean, you're on Love and Hip Hop. I mean, isn't that the easy way out? Shouldn't you be just focused in the studio and doing your shit, making music that's going to sell records, and not be on a reality show talking about somebody else that's trying to make money? Doing the same thing you're doing. It just looks very hypocritical on your part. And, you know, I can complain, but no one gives a shit. You get what I'm saying? I can complain that, hey, this goddamn reality TV star, you know, because I was very vocal about when Portia got the job at Dish Nation, but then I had to be like, girl, I mean, boy, child, look, ain't nobody care. You get what I'm saying? Like, oh my God, how did she get the Dish Nation job? And she's not even a communications major. How was she working for radio and she did not get any type of degree? That's how shit is now. You don't need a degree to be successful. Okay, it's a plus, but it's not guaranteed. And if she wants it, I feel like if Blac Chyna wants to do music, let her do what she want to do, child. She gonna do it anyway. Ain't like, I mean, come on. I mean, she's not in competition with you, or she's not going to be. I mean, her fans will listen to it, but I don't think it's not gonna get no play. You know, and her singing, I thought she was a rapper. I thought she rapped, but I guess she sings now. We'll see how that comes out. But as for K. Michelle, I mean, you sound real bitter. You sound real bitter. And then my thing is, if you're going to be like that, then let's not be on the show, because the show is, you know, it's the same thing. You're doing the same shit. But I don't know. I don't know, child. Don't listen to me, child. You know, because what do I know? One other thing. Let me see. Well, I feel like I'm flying through hot topics today, which is okay because I spent a lot of time on the intro. And look, this is what it is. One other thing that I wanted to talk about now. Richard Pryor's ex-bodyguard says Comic wanted Paul Mooney killed because he slept with his son, Paul. And Paul Mooney denies it, right? Okay, so here's the whole situation now. Richard Pryor allegedly put $1 million bounty on Paul Mooney's head after learning that the comedian had sex with his son, Richard Pryor Jr. Now, for those who don't know, because, you know, these are very old comedians, Richard Pryor was on a lot of movies back in the day. He was the dude with the afro. He kind of favors like a skinny version of Steve Harvey a little bit. I thought he was Steve Harvey when I was little. But these are a comic, and Paul Mooney is he was a comic too, and they all were friends. Let's remember that they all were friends. Both of them. Now, the bombshell accusation came out when Ration Khan, in an interview posted Monday by Comedy Hype, according to Kane, Paul had sex with Richard Pryor Jr. when he was in his 20s, and when Richard Pryor Sr. found out, he wanted Paul Mooney dead. From
JoJo Dancer on, the relationship became fragile.
Okay.
Because Paul Mooney had Richard's son by that time.
Okay.
And he violated. And so from there on, whatever Paul Mooney was to Richard, and there was a time that Paul Mooney was Richard's friend first, and then my son, and in some circles that's supposed to be dealt with.
Was there ever a conversation to retaliate against that?
Yes. Richard didn't want him on the planet no more. He shared it with me, and he said he wanted somebody killed. And Richard, that wasn't his conversation, so I just attribute that he must be high right now.
Now, Kanye claims that Richard Sr. offered $1 million to kill Mooney when he found out. And Paul Mooney's publicist, Cassandra Williams, tell TMZ that there's no validity to Ration's statement, and as it relates to Mr. Paul Mooney. It's certainly relevant to mention that Kane is currently promoting an upcoming tell-all book. So that's kind of why he probably came out with this whole situation and opened up with this bombshell. So there's a lot of violation going on here, but this took a turn for the worse, as in another news TMZ reportedly ran into Richard Pryor Jr. and asked him some questions about this whole situation, and here's what he had to say.
And I want to talk to you about the claims from Rashawn Khan that you and Paul Mooney had a sexual relationship back in the 80s. Thank you. Is there any truth to that? I know that Paul Mooney's denied it.
Well, whatever happened in my life, it happened when I was young, way before the 80s.
Okay, so was it a consensual relationship?
How could any relationship be consensual if I was a teenager?
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it was a long time ago. And Paul Mooney's denied the claim, so do you have anything you want to say to him?
Well, I really have nothing to say at all about the situation.
Were you aware of the alleged hate that your father put out on Paul Mooney that Rashawn Khan claims?
No, I'm done.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate your time, Mr. Pryor.
And, he claims he was much younger than 20 and that nothing was consensual because of his age. Here's what I got to say about that. I mean, nobody was there. We wasn't there. We don't know what happened. But, if the man said he was in his 20s, now he's saying, now the Richard Pryor Jr. is saying that he was younger than that. I don't know. I don't know what to believe. You get what I'm saying? Because this person's saying that, and that person's saying this. I think he was trying to cover himself. I feel like he was trying to make himself not feel like he was wrong in that situation because you did some things with your father's friend. That is just very taboo. Like, it's one thing you can be who you are, as you can be as comfortable as your sexuality as you want to, but it's just like, that is taboo as hell if it went down like that. And he's saying it's not consensual because of his age. Honey, it could be, a little bit, it could be rape because if he wasn't the right age, but it was definitely consensual on your part. It ain't like he was forcing you now. But I wasn't there, so this is all alleged. Everything that has been said is alleged, you know what I'm saying? The ex-bodyguard, we don't know how truthful he is, and it seems like the son is kind of covering him up himself, and it must be more to the story, and hopefully something else comes out, child, I'll give an update on, but yeah, that's what's happening now. I don't know. It seems very, I don't know, it just seems weird, it seems off-putting, I don't know. Or maybe it's just me, child. Tell me what you think in the comments, and if you even know these comedians at all, child. I just thought it was an interesting thing to talk about because it was something that was a big topic this week. One other thing, Iggy Azalea admits that she doesn't like songs that she recorded in the past.
Never have I ever gotten sick of my own song. Of course I get sick of my own songs. In fact, some of them I hate. Some songs I make and then they don't age well. And a year or two later, I'm like, oh, what was I thinking? But people still like them. So some of the songs that I decide I hate, I still have to perform because the fans want to hear them. So yes, I have gotten sick of a song. A lot of songs. Gonna eat a candy.
I really feel her. Like, I really feel like these first couple episodes that I ever made was trash. Like, yeah, I mean, that's such a, I was about to say team player, but that's such a good thing to say, because, the stuff that we do is a little bit dated in the past. And when we look back at these things, we're like, what the hell? Why would I even think about doing this shit? And yeah, I just thought it was very interesting to say, to mention on this show. I always try to I give hot topics, but I also give like certain topics. Like, is there anything that you've done as far as anything that you're passionate about that you've done in the past and it's like, damn, I can like, yo, this is just not good. I wish I could delete that part, but for the most part, it's what got you on, because I feel like she indirectly was talking about Fancy, but that's the song that got you on. Like, that's the song that people know you by. Like, you think of Iggy Azalea, you think of Fancy. And which, you know, if it's dated, I feel like some of her other songs is a little bit dated, like Walk a Mile, like that shit. Yeah, now. Walk a mile in the Louboutin. No, honey, I'm not walking a mile in nothing that you're giving. But anyway, I think that is it for Hot Topics. Let me look on the docket again, child. Let me see if there's anything else, because there's always something that always comes out in the midst of everything. And I'm like, damn, I didn't cover it. Oh, snap. We got something. Ooh, hot on the press, child. Paul Mooney cancels shows in wake of the Richard Pryor Jr. molestation allegations. Oh, so if you didn't do it, why are you canceling shows? You afraid somebody gonna press you on it? Just speak your truth. Unless that ain't the truth. Okay, so all right. Okay, let me retract. Let me do a little retraction on that. Yeah, it's not looking in Paul Mooney's favor, and if that's true, that's really messed up. Like somebody, your friend's son. I couldn't imagine any of my friends doing that. That is like very. Not only, I mean, because it's something if you with friends with somebody and you sleep with their ex or their boyfriends or something like that, that's one thing. That's kind of messed up too. But another thing, somebody's offspring. That means you had to been thinking about that person as a child. I mean, that's at that. I mean, come on. That's just child. Yeah, I'm glad this ain't getting swept under the rug now, child. We living in this Me Too phase, that child. A lot of situations happen like that. A lot of families. You'll be very much surprised. Oh, Kellyanne Conway mocks Taylor Swift's support for the Equality Act by singing her song. Girl, bye. Y'all need to get out of here. Y'all honestly, you know what? And this is going to be another PSA, guys. Y'all need to get out and vote. Get registered. Get to voting. Because this whole team, this whole administration needs to get the hell up out this damn White House. Because they are messing shit up right now. And I don't care if you feel some type of way because Taylor Swift said, was indirectly talking about y'all. Yeah. All y'all do is tweet. Y'all don't do nothing for this country. Let's be honest. Oh, back to VMAs though. Missy Elliott lost her diamond necklace backstage at the MTV VMA Awards. Come on now. Now, who swiped her damn necklace? Come on now. That's crazy. But she got money. She'll probably buy a new one. But it's just a fact. Like, damn. People really out here stealing. One other thing about the VMAs too, I forgot to mention this. I always forget and then come back. They did a protest. I remember one of the people that I go to college with did a protest because, yeah, it was kind of weird. And I did mention this last episode that they did the music video at Newark, knowing damn well that Newark has so much issues with water. They have brown water, and it's almost like Flint almost. Well, it's not at the magnitude of Flint, because I feel like this could be something that could be solved, but it hasn't been solved. So I'm just, I'm being optimistic about it. Hopefully, the city got paid for this damn show, and hopefully they're using those proceeds to fix the shit that's going on. But yeah, they did a protest, and it was just so weird. Like, oh my God. But hey, it needs to be done. And those people, they do a lot more than we did, child, over here in Trenton. Because I remember, I live in Trenton, and we have moments where we can't even drink our water because the water is brown or something. And then we have to, it was one time our mayor didn't even tell us. He told us a day after, bitch, we could have all died because of his ass. And they barely did anything about it, and they finally get to doing it. And we didn't do no protest, child. Trenton don't do shit, child. So I'm getting out of here. I'm sorry, this is my hometown, and if y'all are listening and y'all from Trenton, get out. Get out. But it might get better though, because gentrification is happening. That's a real ass thing, and hopefully we reap the benefit of it. But whatever. Anyway, that's it for this show. I will see you guys next Friday. Like I said, I'm not doing any more after shows, especially this week, because I'm moving into my dorm, and I'll tell you guys how that goes next Friday. And until next time, I'm your host Darren Green, and this is the Darren Green Show signing out. Bye, y'all.